Ooh, I might have messed up. I messed up. Yep, I messed up. I Roscoed it.
That's smart.
Alright, Cryptids, what is going on? It is me, Mississippi Gonzo Grunge, aka Rip Breadcorn, and today we're looking at the Bravado Gauntlet, as this is a collection video. So this one, this one is the OG Bravado Classic. The OG from back in the day, the very first one to come out with the Grand Theft Auto game. Well, Grand Theft Auto 5, that is. As we all know, this is based off of the old Recession Challengers that came out back in, way back in the day. But I think it's funny how we've got this one, the Gauntlet Classic, the Custom Gauntlet, and now we have the Gauntlet Hellfire, which is basically the demon. I don't think they'll add in another gauntlet, but they do wilder things. Imagine that they add in another one that can be upgraded through Anami, the Anami tech. Which, funny enough, I do have the Buffalo STX, which we all know is a Hellcat. So yeah, do go check out that video that I did involving it, because that thing attracted every oppressor in the city. Which I am going to say this in another one, but the oppressors, nah, that wasn't the scariest thing in Grand Theft Auto. The scariest thing in Grand Theft Auto was those chromed out adders with the sticky bombs. Those guys were ruthless. The OG griefers of the day. Those things would attract attention. Hell, if you even had an adder, you were going to get shot at. But that's beside the point. Alright, that's it. She's doing well so far. But yeah, I am going to be reviewing all of the gauntlets in this video. So here we have the classic OG vehicle that started it all. Now, back in the day, this was actually one of the fastest muscle cars next to the Dominator. So they were just neck and neck. It really depended on what you liked. So yeah, you had to contend with that. But, as it is, it's got responsive brakes. Still, this is another vehicle that it's like, it's just kind of forgotten about in time. But, somebody remembers having one of these. So, probably you're watching this and you remember having one on the first day of GTA Online. It's like, yeah, I had one. I had one too, but I also had the Buffalo S Sport. Yeah, Franklin's Buffalo, as it was called back then. I actually had it, and some people's like, why did you have it? I modded it in. Well, I would say modded, more like I glitched it in. Oh, get the gas, hit the gas. I almost like to have Roscoed it. I was not paying attention, and I rolled it, and that would have created problems. Come on, swing her around. So, she's good. A little dented. I heard the jet. Where is it? Ah, dang it. It ain't gonna hit the bridge. That one time I caught that thing hitting the bridge was gold. So I guess there's that. I'm probably going to get some water after this particular review, because I don't review these videos in one go. I tend to spread them out, so you never know when well, let's just say whenever I find the vehicles, I just go get them. I have some vehicles in online, which I'm trying to do those first, and then I'll continue on with the others. But yeah, that's just how I do the review. But I will say this, a little fun fact about this vehicle and this channel was that I did have one. Because I got sick of using the Dominator. But me and Slay would also use this as kind of a stunt vehicle. Because they spawn everywhere. I mean, you can get this off the street and do whatever you want to with it. But I imagine you pull up on one of these at a car meet in this game, and they'll be like, get that V6 Challenger out of here. Even though it is a V8. That's what they'll be screaming out, get that V6 out of here. So it happens. It happens. And that's also something. The guys that have these old V6 Challengers, especially them old Recession models, yeah, those guys be the most annoying. It's like, yeah, I got a Challenger. Pop the hood. I ain't popping the hood. Exactly. You got a B6 up under that. But other than that, this car can, in fact, climb any hill you throw it at. But, still, stay on the gas. That's all I will say. Stay on the gas and don't let the tires leave the ground. Because if they leave the ground, that's all she wrote. But anyways, I'm going to go on ahead and jump in the next Bravado Gauntlet as a part of this series. So, we're going to go on ahead and jump right to it. So, jump cut. So here we have the Bravado Gauntlet Hellfire, or Hellfire Gauntlet, whatever you want to call it. We all know it's a Dodge Demon. But yeah, such as it is, another piece of footage where the audio didn't want to work right, so I have to dub over it. Because the footage was perfectly fine. I did have part of this recorded once, but for some reason, the footage never saved. Strange as that is. OBS was probably smoking crack again, but, that's a given at this point. OBS always being a crackhead. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be another vehicle in GTA 6 that will be a standard driving around on the street corner. But, kind of also, not trying to go off topic or anything, but the summer update, I guarantee you it will probably be a donk update. Just because, hey, we've already seen donk cars and other lowriders in the GTA 6 trailers. Well, just in one trailer. Hell, they might put out another one when this particular collection goes up. But, pure speculation at this point. Such as it is. But, yeah. Kind of did like how this one turned out. Now, I actually did get the Hellfire Gauntlet when it came out years ago on the PS3. Which, that was back when everything was still underpaid and people were complaining about it. And then, years later, apparently Rockstar decided to fix it long after I stopped playing. I was just sick of playing modern consoles and playing, PS, all the console crap and everything else. And I just said, you know what? No, I'm sick of it. Quit playing, but now here I am back on the PC. Because, why not? PC, it's better in the long run. That's just a little rant. Didn't mean to. Performance-wise, it is very good, except for the handling. But acceleration, speed, it's great. Unless they decide they're going to put in another... I'm trying to think of the word for it. Well, it will come to... Well, it went right out of my head, but well, we're just going to keep moving on. I think the customization on this could have been a little bit better. But, I'm not the one to complain. A car's a car, and plus that, the updates are for free. I thought that was funny how people would also complain about, the price of vehicles, and it's like, no one's sticking a gun to your head and forcing you to buy it. That was like the Dune being a Pegasus vehicle, and it was like worth $1.3 million, and I said, this is just a Pegasus vehicle, so what? If you want to buy it, feel free, and yet some jackass, of course it's some jackass out of Britain who was busy screaming about, you're telling people to buy it, and it's like, no the hell I'm not. Go fix your teeth, you weirdo. Go brush them. I could smell the stench coming off of them. But that's besides my rant about people from Britain. And I guarantee you there's going to be some of them up here cussing me out over that. But it's like, well, I was really referring to that jackass as such. Because he wanted to get up on that video and cuss and complain. It's like, dude, no one's sticking a gun to your head forcing you to buy these vehicles. It's the same in this. It's still the same concept. It's like, well, guess what? If you don't want the vehicle, don't buy it. Do I buy the vehicles? Yes. I wish they'd actually make some of the salvage yard robbery vehicles claimable. At least make one claimable. That would be nice. It's like, make at least one claimable and just let the system decide it. And it's just totally random. Like, there's no set vehicle that is claimable. It's just all different for each person. Because, like, at the time I'm recording this, there is that one. It's like that big car which I have thought about using it as Christine, but I'm like, nah, that takes away from using the Tornado as Christine, which me and Slade are working on a new Christine film. We're just going to call it something different, which that would be fun enough to do. You know, performance-wise, this thing is, you know, speed, acceleration, top-notch, handling. It handles about like the Charger. Well, the Challenger, I mean. It handles about like the Challenger. A boat. But don't get me started on, you know, Mopar and, you know, Hellcats and Scat Packs and all that, and, you know, what type of people want to go buy those. You know, but, you know, then again, I say that, but, you know, Slade plays... He plays Forza. He's been playing a lot of Forza as of late. I'm trying to get into it because I just got it on PC. I just haven't installed it yet. But, you know, expect some Hellcat foolishness to go on. That Hellcat activities will happen. And, yeah, he is using the Charger. And that's me hitting a tree. But other than that, this is where I jump in and start finishing up the other Bravado Gauntlets. So let's jump into the next variant. So here I am with the Gauntlet Classic as a part of the, you know, Gauntlet Off-Road Review, whatever it is. Well, the collection video, I should say. Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually got around to actually doing the Gauntlet series, so I figured why not. This was actually one of the first vehicles I ever got when I returned to GTA Online. I said, oh, look. You know, they were talking about, you know, it was my first experience in the, you know, car meet. Because I just won the Novak, and then the next week was this one. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go win this car because I need another muscle car. So, here I am. How did I paint it up? Vanishing Point. Which is a really good movie. Really good car movie. As we all know, it is based off of the Dodge Challenger from the 70s, and particularly the 71 and 72 models. You know, here's to hoping they'll add in an actual 69 Dodge Charger, but, you know, who knows at this point. You know, they've added crazier stuff into Rockstar, well, crazier stuff into GTA Online. I mean, we do have, like, electric tanks and flying bikes, which it's like, okay, when GTA 6 comes out, let's hope they keep that. Let's hope they keep it out. Another vehicle I never got to record beforehand, but this is actually one of my more favorite vehicles to actually, you know, play around with. It does go through deep water, nice and fine, but, you know, I tend to do that because a lot of them just don't like it. So there is that. You know, like I said, here's to hoping that GTA 6 doesn't have flying motorcycles and rocket cars and James Bond submarine vehicles. But I can understand why they added it in. Because they were going to get it banned, so they're like, hey, let's add in this insane stuff. You know, that's just the reason that I heard. Don't get mad at me, I'm just reporting the facts. Or I'm just reporting what's being said. You know, that's just what I've always heard. But funny enough, I just recently got an oppressor. I don't use it other than the fact I just have one. And plus that, when I really go to mess with people in a public session, I tend to use the, I tend to use Midnight, which is my Bravado STX. But, you know, funny enough, even though I don't have off-road tires on this, it still performs well. It performs very well, even without them. You know, here's to hoping that we get more muscle cars in the future. You know, I personally would like to see more of them. But, you know, that's just me. Some people are like, I don't want to see more of them, but I like, you know, it's whatever at this point. It's just a personal preference. Who knows, maybe with the update that's coming out in December, they'll add in more muscle cars. Well, here's to hoping that they do. But, you know, whatever. But, yeah, I actually ended up winning this through the LS Car Meet. Which is actually which is actually one of my favorite things to do. You know, sometimes I'll just go do the car meet stuff just because, you know, oh, hey, look, we got this new vehicle that's free on the podium. So I just go do that and then just hope I get a, you know, I just go do that whenever they have a car I'm interested in, which is, you know, I tend to have a lot of vehicles in such cases. And even then, I don't remember if I ever upgraded this or not. I don't think I did. But other than that, this one's also another favorite vehicle of mine because of the dirt road aspect. It just looks magnificent cruising down a dirt road. But the question comes down to it, will I ever do this for a movie? Yes, I kind of have an idea of what I want to do with this one. So there is that. Kind of an idea of what I want to do with it. But since I don't really do these types of reviews for that long, especially on these big collection videos, yeah, I'm just going to go on ahead and jump into the next one, which will be the final gauntlet of the series. But you know, hey, here's to hoping... Well, I would say final gauntlet. I just remembered, hey, I got another gauntlet to go get and go review. So, let's go ahead and jump into the next gauntlet. So, here you go. Alright, so here we are with the Gauntlet Classic Custom, which we all know at this point it's basically the Daytona. Basically, they took the parts off of a Daytona and slapped it on a Challenger. But, you know, such as it is. But, yeah. Little fun fact about the Daytona was that, well, the Daytona and the Superbird, they could get up to 200 miles an hour. And yeah, I do have this painted up kind of like Richard Petty's Daytona. I got it as close as I could. 200 miles an hour in 4th gear. Now, imagine if they put the 6th gear in this. 6 gears with the Demon engine in it. That would be wild, but, you know, such as it is. But, yeah. You know, I'm not going to talk about the what-ifs and all that. I got better things to do. Am I going to be using this for a movie? Yes, I am. It's going to be more of a, you know, kind of a race movie. Kind of a racing movie. You know, such as it is. Excuse me. Coming around the corner. What did I hit? Oh, never mind. I hit a... There's a rock right there. I don't know what I was thinking at this point. Yeah, I never really got to review this one either, now that I think about it. There's a lot of these cars I never got to review, period. But here I am taking a very rare car down the off-road review trail. Imagine if someone found one of those old Daytonas or those Superbirds and made that into a rally car. That would be... It would be amazing. But, you know, the car kind of got popularity... Well, it got popularity through NASCAR, but also due to the sheer power that thing had. But, you know, such as it is. 200 miles an hour in 4th gear was quite the feat back then. But, you know, at this point, it's whatever. I'm not going to argue. We're not going to have these types of arguments in the comments either. You will get your goose cooked. I do not tolerate people trying to, you know, start nonsense in the comments. But I just now figured out that I had one more vehicle to review in this collection, and that's the Hellfire. Round the Wall of Doom. There she is. There she is. A little bit of a tricky spot with the Wall of Doom, but it made it across. You know, even though its ride height's a little bit terrible. But you know, it's an old muscle car from the 70s. Am I expecting much out of them? No. But this car does have a lot of burnout. A lot of burnout potential, and it just got foggy all of a sudden. What even? But yeah, I just realized I got to do the Hellfire Interceptor, which I got to go grind to make some money just to go get it. But you know, it's whatever at this point. Grind it. Or just go get one of the trainer menus and hope that works. Which wouldn't be the first, you know, I have thought about it. Yes, it's got the pop-up lamps too. See? Ooh, watch it. Now we would test out its rally capabilities. Well, I say rally capabilities, I just say, oh yeah, this is kind of the fun part. Still, kind of a fun car to throw around on dirt. Even though I didn't get to play much with this vehicle because, you know, PSN, a terrible internet, and it just kind of made everything unplayable. So there is that. That's rock. Oh yeah, here's the other thing too, if you go around corners, if you get your braking wrong, you will spin out. So there is that. You will spin out, you will flip it, you will wreck it. So you kind of have to watch out for that. Nice and easy. Around the way. But you know, it is what it is. Still, there's pretty much nothing else I can really say about this vehicle other than, you know, it's a Daytona. Basically a Challenger with a Daytona spoiler and front clip. I wonder if that would actually fit on one of those. See, there it goes. There goes that torque. But, you know, that's kind of the fun part of absolutely, you know, driving it. That's a rabbit. Hitting the rabbits, of all things. There she is, and I lost it. But I'm going to go ahead and stop it right here, just so that way we can go ahead and jump into the next Bravado Gauntlet, which is the final one. Now that I've finally gotten around to it in 2025, I've been making this since 2024. So, here you go. So, yeah, I finally got it because the police cars all went on sale. So, now's a good time to get one if you haven't gotten one yet, or if you want to finish out your collection of cop cars. I kind of want to get mine finished because, A, I do plan on using this footage for more videos. Well, outside of an independent review for this is also going to be in the review for, well, the collection review for the Gauntlet. Well, yeah. So, yeah. If you're watching this on the Gauntlet review, yeah, be expecting to see this for an individual review too. Or if not, well, whatever. So here we are with the Gauntlet Interceptor. Kind of surprising how this one handles. You know, compared to its civilian variant, this one's actually really good. Now, the footage you'll see after this is mostly from when I shot most of it back in 2024. And some of it was shot fairly recently in 2025 because I finally said, you know what, I hadn't finished the Gauntlets yet, so I figured, hey, let's go ahead and finish them out. So, yeah, the Gauntlet Hellfire now has drift tuning, which doesn't surprise me one bit. But, yeah, this one's actually based off of a... It's a copy... I want to say it's in Florida where they like, seized a demon and they just decided, oh, hey, let's get one of these. You know, imagine Roscoe P. Coltrane having one of these. He's like, I'm going to catch the Duke boys now, and there it goes. So, yeah. So, it's whatever at this point. Because I know after this, I'm going to have to go film... I got to go record the, the Hellfire Hotring, because that's the final one I have to do. That one's kind of a fun one I've been trying to do. But yeah, I put regular street tires on this because I figured why not. Plus that, I do have intentions on using this for a movie. I just left the color scheme the same. Because I blew what money I had, and it was a lot, to get the final set of police cars that I got. But since it's very easy to make money in this game, I managed to make half of that back within 2 hours. Because that's just how long I play games for now, outside of doing just like simple reviews. So yeah. But yeah, there is a possibility that I will be using this footage for another set of reviews. And that will probably be for the police cars, because I do intend on shooting a whole series around cop cars and whatnot. Come on, get off of it. Yep, it beached itself. That was bound to happen. It's very easy to beach stuff. So there is that. Plus that, I kind of been getting requests to do more police cars and such. There's still quite a few of them I have to do, such as the Dorado, the Terminus, and the Caracara. I still have those 3 left to do, and I also have to do the Corvette D10 Interceptor, because, I still got to do the collection review for the Corvette. So there is that. But yeah, in terms of handling, it's kind of weird. It's kind of heavy like the civilian variant, but it's got a little bit of give to it. But it does float down dirt. That's the one thing I will say about this, is that this thing will absolutely It will float down dirt. So there is that. That's kind of a plus thing, how this particular vehicle just floats down dirt. But yeah, bit of a collection review, which I hope to be done with this pretty soon. Collection reviews I tend to do, because why not? I probably should just go back and start adding in. I really need to add chapters to them so people can see, okay, here's chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. But it's like I just do the chapter review, so I'm not constantly uploading off-road reviews all the time. So yeah. I mean, funny enough, this is actually one of the funnest cop cars I have so far that I've actually test driven. Outside of the Outreach faction and the LX, which are by far some of my more favorite ones to drive, this one right here has got some power behind it. I wish they'd make like a race where you could see like which one's faster, this or the D10. Because I think it'd be nice. That's the one thing about the handling you do have to watch. Because sometimes it will spin out, but other than that, if you can get the throttle to brake ratio down correct, it eases itself around the corners. And here we go. See, that's the one thing about it. This is what I plan on using this for, is to take this down a dirt trail and just absolutely send it. That's what I plan on using this for. It's really more just for... It is going to be used in a movie. So that's what I'm going to do. There's some deer up ahead that got out the way. For once, I did not hit the deer in this. That's the throttle to brake ratio that it's got. It's got nice braking, nice throttling. You know, granted, if you don't do something like that, but I'm going to stop it right here because I got one more off-road review to do for the collection, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, so here I am with the final review of the collection, and that is the Hellion. No, it's the Hotring Hellfire. Alright, so here I am with the final review of the collection, which this is the Hellfire Hotring version. You know, I still would like to see the other Hotring come in from San Andreas, if you know about that one. Yeah, it kind of looks like the Grand National. But yeah. It kind of looks like the Willard faction, which I'm surprised they didn't put that one in. Because we only got 3 Hotring vehicles, so I figured why not put this in. So yeah, this will be the final, depending on how this review goes over, this will... Nah, I'm probably going to redo the footage. Because I do plan on doing all the Hotring vehicles for an off-road review, so yeah. So yeah, this is actually one of the... I want to say this one is... It's either the slowest or it's in the middle. Because I've heard the truck was the fastest, but I got all 3 because I ended up winning them through the car meet. This one I want to say I actually bought while it was marked down. And I think I got it stuck. Did I get it stuck? No, I did not. No, I didn't. There she goes. There she goes. Yes, it does have a horn. You know, such a shame they don't give us a General Lee livery for, you know, certain cars. But some people, they just tend to get offended because it's like, it's got a flag on it, whee! And it's like, boy, shut the hell up. Ain't nobody want to hear that shit. So here we are. Now this thing does have some pretty stiff handling, but it's a race car. Well, it's a NASCAR. I would say NASCAR, but it's technically a Trans Am car. So there is that. So there is that. It is a Trans Am car, so yeah. But it actually kind of surprises me on some aspects because this car absolutely loves dirt. So it's kind of like, look at me, I'm rally racing a NASCAR. I know it's not going to make it up that because I've tried repeatedly, but here's what happens. Ride height works against it. And that's even with the stock ride height. Believe me, I've tried it. So here we go with the Wall of Doom, but I'm just going to shoot it across. Believe me, if you knew how many times I have actually tried attempting this with the Wall of Doom, you'd be surprised. I would just have a whole hour's worth of footage just trying to get it. But oh yeah, here's the inside of it. A very nice inside. So it is kind of like that. So it's got a decent inside, a very nice interior. So there is that. Up and over, easy does it. But yeah, this thing's absolutely got it. And there she goes. It also lands smooth. That's what I think is funny about it. That guy paid no attention. But whatever. But yeah, this is what I mean by it loves dirt. Look at it, beautiful. It's beautiful, just sliding around the dirt. That little bump threw me off, but that's beside the point. But yes, it just slides so wonderfully along the dirt. I hit a mountain lion. I ran over the mountain lion. Okay, let's continue. Nice and easy, up and over she goes, and we will slide it this way. And that also happens. I will say this. There does come an amount of throttling that you have to do, so do watch it. So that's kind of a plus. Well, I say plus, but it's more of a... kind of just something you need to do. You know, this is by far one of the most customizable... I would say it's probably the most customizable Hotring racer. But I think the Everon has a little bit more. I could be wrong. Because it's been a while since I've actually... you know, got around to it. So there is that. Will it take it up this way? That's a boulder. Yeah, this is the other thing too. It's got all the traction in the world, but the torque and the traction don't match. And that's kind of something that I really like in an off-roader, is for the torque and the power to match. Well, the torque and the traction to match. Meaning, A, when I mash the gas, the traction better kick in. You know, I don't want to be spinning out all over the place. I just ran over rabbits. There she is, nice and easy. There she is, up and over we go. And there she goes. So yeah, that's kind of something that I would pay attention to. Now, if you think I'm talking a little bit too long, it's just because A, this is the final part of the review itself. I want to say these are I want to say I painted these rims midnight blue. I think I did. No, it's just how the light's hitting them. It's how the shadow's hitting them. You gotta love the shadows in this game. Now what are y'all doing going down the tunnel? It's deer, who knows? Yeah, that's the other thing too. It's got brakes. It's got them race car brakes. But if you want to know how to throttle, well, that's what I was going to say. Handbrake plus gas. I like to call it feathering because that's my technique that I use. And do watch it because it can do that. It will spin out in the corner, so there's kind of like that. Go away, Franklin. So yeah, it's kind of like that. That deer almost got wiped out, but that's beside the point. Hit the brake. Hit the brake. I'm a dipstick. I am a pure dipstick. But yeah, as you can tell, you see how it handles on dirt. It's kind of squirrely on dirt, but that's to be expected. And did I get it? Well, I got it stuck, so I might as well just park it here. I think that's a sign of, I can hear Bill Engvall right now. So there is that. That suspension, it's got some nice suspension. Now that I look at it, it's got some nice suspension. But other than that, this has been the conclusion of the off-road review collection for the Gauntlet. And, you know, like I said, please do shoot the like button with a grip skiddly. It took me quite a long time to fix it, you know, to make it. It took me quite a while to make this, you know, because some of this footage goes back to 2024. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah, some of this footage has gone back to 2024. And some of it I've just gotten done with it recently, and, you know, I was originally going to put it out, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm forgetting two vehicles. Lo and behold, it was this one and the Interceptor. So, please do comment down below your favorite Gauntlet. Alright, let's just go on like that. And should they add in more Hotring vehicles? So there is that. But I think that would be more reserved for when I do the Hotring vehicle reviews. Now, other than that, please do smash the subscribe button today and click the notification bell icon, because I do live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, anywhere between 6 to 7 p.m. Longer streams tend to be on Friday and Saturday. Now, other than that, y'all have a great day and a ballin' weekend, and remember, don't do anything stupid.